Hello my fellow dollies. My name is Lily and welcome to a tutorial video. I'm a 22-year-old British autistic gacha tuber. My goal is to prove that we're smarter than you think, and that even disabled people like me can still express their talent. On my channel, I like to recreate my fanfictions in Gacha Club. I'm into media such as Oddworld and Dark Deception. But don't worry, most of my content is under 18. But enough about me. In today's video, I'm going to give you advice on how to make your gacha videos better. Now, just a disclaimer, this video isn't meant to criticize those who make these mistakes. All I want is to give out advice and help you. I myself have made these mistakes in the past, but I've been accepting these mistakes and correcting myself. My videos aren't bad, but they're not perfect either. So I'm not going to show off or act superior than any of you. In fact, I'm still learning too, and I still have much to learn. Speaking of which, you'll actually see my videos from time to time as examples. Without further ado, here are my 10 tips on how to make your gacha videos or fanfictions better. There's a lot of trends in the gacha community, and most of them focus on the same plot. Examples of overused storylines include the hated child becomes so-and-so, adopted spoiled brat, blah blah blah. Now, while these do get a lot of views, each storyline is just the same, not to mention predictable. But if you think of an original storyline, then you yourself will become recognisable. For example, my Oddworld gacha content. When I first discovered Gacha Club, the first thing I did was recreate the lore to Oddworld. Basically, gachify the Oddworld games. They're cringe now, but at the time, this didn't happen before. I was the first person to make Oddworld gacha content. I'm telling you, if you search up Oddworld gacha, you'll roughly see my videos. Even my Oddworld fanfictions are original. For example, Oddworld Abe's Anniversary is about Abe and Munchkin being transported to Earth for Abe's birthday. Now, if you want to make a hated child storyline, you can just change the storyline or give it a plot twist. Trust me, I've seen some original hated child endings, so I'm sure you'll find some too. If you want to make an enjoyable storyline, you need likable characters. How do you do that? Well, the answer is simple. Just make them relatable. And even give them personality. This is why I love characters such as Abe. Because he's relatable and kind, even having sympathy. You don't just have to do this to protagonists, but to antagonists too. It's okay to make the antagonist funny. It's been done in media before. Another way of making your antagonist likable is giving them standards. For example, Malak from Dark Deception. Still a threat to the player, but he'll only steer his anger towards the player. Meanwhile, he'll treat his own minions, the monsters, with respect. In one cutscene, he's even seen being a fatherly figure to his stepdaughter, Agatha. It's hilarious how he's a better father than Doug, who's supposed to be the protagonist. But if you want to make your antagonist unlikable, give them a satisfying defeat. Do you know why a lot of gay gacha videos are hard to watch? Because they rely on the same stereotypes and cliches. Not only is it boring, but you can even predict what will happen. A couple of examples include gay men wearing skirts, uwu cats, gay couples randomly making out in public, a lot, homophobic yandere girlfriends, blonde mean girls, bad boys being alpha wolves, the main character having a happy life, etc. How to fix this? Give said characters a makeover. You can also keep a few things from the cliche, but add more originality. If you want more help on fixing gacha stereotypes, I'll make a video doing so. Throwing logic out the window and justifying it is lazy. Coming up with excuses such as gacha logic is bad storytelling. One of my biggest pet peeves when it comes to gacha logic is this. A couple meeting each other for the first time and getting too comfortable too quickly even though they just met. More examples include couples looking like siblings, accidental kissing at first sight, shippers forcing the couple together, etc. Avoid these mistakes. You can add a shipper, but don't make it their entire personality. It's also alright for characters to fall in love at first sight, because accidental kissing doesn't seem cute to me. And if you want to make a love story, make sure they get to know each other first. My favourite hobby is writing. Before I started gacha content, I mainly focused on writing fanfictions for my favourite medias. Okay, well, admittedly my stories were cringe at the time, but I was a young child. But hey, that's why I have Tales from the Computer and the Run the Gacha Challenge. Nowadays, I write fanfictions for Oddworld and Dark Deception. I never considered gachifying it until I watched some gacha videos for the first time and felt inspired. So I retired from Movie Star Planet and moved on to Gacha Club. If you write a script, it doesn't just help you plan your story, but helps with grammar and spelling. A mistake I keep making. What is a headcanon? Well, according to Vox.com, it's when someone invents a piece of fanon they really believe in. It isn't accepted as a general part of fandom, but it still stays tucked away inside the brain of the creator. Thus, it becomes their personal headcanon. Confused? Well, why don't I share my headcanons? In my Oddworld fanfictions, Toby has high-functioning autism, Munch likes food, Humphrey and Erwin are brothers, etc. Meanwhile, in my Dark Deception fanfictions, particularly during the beginning of Bad Rabbit, I've actually imagined the morning routine for the Joy Joy gang. After getting up, they're sent to maintenance, recharge, limb prefixing, oil changing if needed, and finally, accessorizing, preparing, and grooming. And by that I mean getting dressed and having their fur brushed. After maintenance, they're sent back into Zone 2 so Hangry can prepare breakfast. My point being that there's nothing wrong with adding headcanons. However, if you're adding headcanons, make sure you stay original to the lore. Like keeping Abe as the Madokan savior and how the ring pieces work. Also, don't change the characters completely. This is why I don't watch My Hero Academia videos. Now, I haven't watched My Hero Academia, but from what I've seen through reviews, characters like Deku act out of character. Guys, comment down below. Is My Hero Academia a good anime? Perhaps I'm just missing something. When I first started doing gacha videos, they weren't that great. I have a playlist called Gacha Life. This playlist exists, where you can find all my old and cringy gacha videos. Why were they bad? Because the screenshots would move everywhere and characters would speak with their mouths closed. And when it came to music, I would use royalty-free music from YouTube, and because I could only use one song, the rest of the video would be silent. You see, back then, I used a hand-me-down phone from Mum to make these videos, and I used iMovie to put all those screenshots together. Thus explains the constantly moving slideshow. It wasn't until I got a new tablet that I used a different app, Vlo, to make my Oddworld Gacha videos, and Movavi later on in life when Vlo started acting sluggish. When I got a new phone, aka the phone I'm using right now, I started recreating my old content from my computer and even other medias I'm into. The first reason why you should use Vlo is that the screenshots remain still. I've actually made a tutorial on how I use Vlo to make my gacha videos. If I remember, it'll be in the corner. Introducing the second reason why you should use Vlo. It has some awesome effects. Audio, stickers, text, filters, and you can even use your own stuff. If you want to make your videos more fluid, add effects, transitions, stickers, borders, templates, filters. This also applies to audio too. You can add music, sound effects, and even voice acting. This can make the environment more detailed and realistic. If you want to make your video eye-catching, give it a thumbnail. This shows off how much quality the video is. But don't use clickbait. Nobody likes being trolled. To anyone who also uses a phone, if you have a computer or a laptop, etc., just download the thumbnail onto your computer. If you don't have a computer, don't worry. I'm sure there are tutorials on YouTube that can teach you. Despite many other adults playing this, Gacha is a kid's game. In fact, in the beginning of almost every video, you'll see the terms and conditions disclaimer. I add that in to show that I've read the rules and I'll follow them. Despite this, many GachaTubers, who are kids mind you, make inappropriate or offensive content. One of the most notable GachaTubers making this content is a chap known as Gamers Nation. What's worse is that even after his statement of regret, he still continues to plague his thumbnails with unhealthy stuff. I don't know if he still does this because I haven't checked his channel, but I wouldn't recommend finding his channel and attacking him. First, that'll just encourage him to continue doing this. Second, it won't make much of a difference. All I'm saying is, don't do this. Making content like this will give you hate. No Papito memes, no harsh prank videos, no heat, no zoo, no maps. And most of all, no fart videos! The only person who can get away with farting on his slig is Abe. What a weird thing to end on. That concludes as many facts I could think of. If you yourself have any advice you could give to me, I'd very much appreciate it. Coming soon, I'll be fixing Gacha Stereotypes. In the meantime, I might as well get back in that toy box until we return.